Did I dictate on this? The synopsis what you got? I explained. You have all got this synopsis? Be careful about the last statement. This confession ceremony is called upasta. ऐसे उपस्था नहीं है. Confession ceremony is called pravarna. Upasta is purification. Fasting is upasta. Okay. Just correct it. Okay. Just correct it. The last part of your synoptic note. Okay. Pravarna means confession. Confession ceremony is called pravarna. Fasting is called upasta. These two are two different ones. Corrected. Right. I came up to Sangha. I explained dharma also. Did I? I explained dharma. You have not got synopsis on dharma? Got the synopsis on dharma? Right. So the remaining part of Buddhism is the question before the monks, how to run the Sangha, because the master no more. Okay. So there's, a need for them to get organized. Organized and to go for conducting ceremony. Conducting a session with regarding the question how to run the Sangha. If monks of one locality assemble, then it is called Parishat. Parishat. Assembly. When monks all over the world come together, then it is called Sangiti. Grand Council is called Sangiti. Now the first Sangiti, Grand Council was held at Rajagriha, Rajgir, present Bihar. For every council you have one president and one patron. Who shall be the president for the first council? The seniormost of the monks, Mahakashyap. You remember Mahakashyap joined Siddhartha when Siddhartha was just a born baby. Then Mahakashyap's age was 5. The Buddha died at the age of 80. Mahakashyap, 85. 85. So senior-most monk. He was made to preside over the first council. Mahakashyap, president. King Ajatashatru of Magadha, the greatest, right, of the Haryanka dynasty. It was Ajatashatru of Magadha, the chief patron, sponsor. For every council you will have one sponsor. It was in this council Buddha's favorite disciple Anand. Buddha's favorite disciple Anand. Anand composed Sutta, S-U-T-T-A, Sutta Pitaka. Pitakas are the sacred texts in Buddhist literature. Literal meaning of the word Pitaka, it is a Pali word, Pali language. Buddha's language, Pali. He never accepted Sanskrit, even though great scholar in Sanskrit. Because Pali is common man's language. When you have to reach out to the common man, you have to speak in his language, common man's language. Pali word Pitaka literally means basket, where you keep your arrows. That is literal meaning. The real meaning is sacred text. Pitakas, the sacred text. First Pitakas, Sutta, it deals with the discourses of the Buddha. All the discourses of the Buddha. What all he taught. That is Sutta Pitaka. Another disciple of the Buddha, Upali, he composed Vinaya. Vinaya Pitaka is a code of conduct. what the monks do and what they are not to do, do's and don'ts. These two Pitakas composed in the first Buddhist council. Second Buddhist council, Sangiti, was held exactly after 100 years. 100 years of the death of the Buddha. It was held at Vaishali, another place in Magadha, present Bihar. 100 years after the death of the Buddha. 483 minus 100, 383. President for this council, Sabbakami, was the president. Patron, Kala Ashok, the greatest of the Shishanaga dynasty, Kala Ashok. You see, there are three Ashoks, my dear. Kala Ashok of Shishanaga dynasty, Samrat Ashok of the Mauryas, and Naga Ashok in the history of Andhras. He is also called Naga Ashok. I am now referring to the greatest of the Shishanaga dynasty, Kala Ashok. He was the chief patron. It was in this council Buddhism was divided for the first time. First time, you see the split. First time into a pro-changer and a no-changer. Those who wanted change, those who are against change. These pro-changers, you call them Mahasanghikas. They wanted change. Mahasanghikas. No changers, nothing doing. Okay. Rules and regulations must be strictly followed. You call them no changes. Why this split into pro-changer and no changer? Name given for no changers, Theravadin. Thera means elderly. People respecting elders. People following the elders. You call them Theravadin. People following the elder, definitely they are conservative. Are you understanding? They are conservative. Theravadin. They oppose change. Now come to the point, why the split? Okay, why a pro-changer and a no-changer? If you remember, I told you, in Sangha, there is one rule. Wherever the monks go, they must get back to Sangha by full moon day. Remember? Monk must get back to Sangha by full moon day. A section of the monks questioned this. Why should we get back to Sangha by full moon day? Arey, we are going quite far away places preaching Buddhism. You expect us to get back to Sangha by full moon day? Waste of time. And again we have to go that far. So relax. Those who can come, they can. Otherwise, don't make it a hard and fast rule. You must come back. Aisa nahi hona. Relax this rule. Are you understanding? Okay. Those who wanted the relaxation of the rules, they are called Mahasangikas, pro-changes. Rule is a rule. That too, it was laid down by the great Buddha. Okay. We can't get Buddha back. You must follow the rule. Only he who can relax the rule, it's Buddha. Got the point? We can't get Buddha back. So better you follow the rule. They are against the change. This split, remember, not detrimental. It did not cause much damage to Buddhism. I got to come. No, I'm sorry, I just can't come. That's where the split ended. What really caused damage to Buddhism was the second split. That second split happened in Fourth Buddhist Council. Right. But definitely differences started it in Buddhism. Third Buddhist Council was held in 250 BC, 250 BC, at Patliputra. Patliputra, capital city of Magadha. Right. Then Samrat Ashok, the ruler of Magadha, the greatest of the Mauryas, Samrat Ashok. Ashok was converted into Buddhism by Upagupta. Upagupta, otherwise called Mogaliputra Tishya, otherwise Tissa, Prince of Ceylon. So Ashok invited him to be the president. Samrat Ashok himself sponsored. It was in this council President Tissa composed third Pitaka. I already told you two. One is Sutta, other one is Vinaya. Now to add to already existing the two, you have another one added. That is Abhidhamma Pitaka. Abhidhamma Pitaka deals with Buddhist philosophy. What is Buddhist philosophy? There you see Abhidhamma Pitaka, a vivid disposition on that. Right. It was in this council Ashok declared that he would make Buddhism international. A decision was taken to make Buddhism international. Same Ashok warned monks not to create differences within Buddhism. You monks, you take whatever you want. See that Buddhism made international. Are you understanding? A section of the monks trying to create problems within Buddhism. This Priyadarshi will not tolerate. Ashok used to call himself Devanam Priya and Priyadarshi. Okay. Ashok giving a stern warning to monks not to create differences within Buddhism. Okay. The last great patron, I should say. When Mauryan dynasty collapsed, Ashok died. Okay, Mauryans, last of the Mauryas, Brihadrat, he was killed by his own chief commander. Mauryan dynasty collapsed. India was invaded by foreign races. Indo-Greeks, Shekas, Kushans, Parthians. Class, please remember, whoever that came to India made India their homeland, except English. Got the point? English, English, as the rulers, they continued to maintain their identity. For English, India, colony, they never said that it's their homeland. Okay. Delhi Sultans, Mughals, ruled India for 600 years. Understand? Whoever that entered India, for them, this is their land, except English. Okay. They followed our customs and traditions also. Today you can't say someone Indo-Greek, someone Parthian, someone Kushan. They got completely assimilated into the Indian population. Right? For them to rule India, they require a religion of Indian origin. Otherwise, people won't accept. No justification for ruling. Which religion you can go for? Brahmanism, highly conservative. Brahmanism won't accept any foreigner. Buddhism, very liberal. That's why Indo-Greeks, Kushans, they all accepted Buddhism. Greatest of the Kushans, Kanishk. Greatest of the Indo-Greeks, Menander. They all followed Buddhism. Kanishk made Buddhism popular even in Central Asia. Kanishk. Now Kanishk convened Fourth Buddhist Council. Fourth Buddhist Council in Srinagar, Jammu Kashmir, in 1st century AD. It was in this council, unfortunately, Buddhism was divided for the second time. Second split. Fourth Buddhist Council presided by Vasumitra president, Ashwaghosh vice president. All stalwarts of Buddhism participated. The greatest scholar of Buddhism, Acharya Nagarjuna. No one could match the genius of Nagarjuna. I will tell you, you'll be surprised. Okay, what's the intellectual caliber of this man? Okay. Acharya Nagarjuna, founder of the Sri Parvat University, first Buddhist university, coming from Nagarjuna Sagar, Telangana. He had come all the way from Telangana, present Telangana, to Jammu Kashmir to participate in the Fourth Buddhist Council. Acharya Nagarjuna. It was in this council, Buddhism was divided into Mahayana and Hinayana. What is Yana? Yana means journey. Even today you have the usage of these words. Naukayana, Vimanayana. If you come by flight, Vimanayana. Come by ship, it is Naukayana. Nauka means ship. Okay. Yana means journey. Ramayana, Ram's journey. That is Ram's journey, not Ram's invasion. Someone was interpreting that way. Okay. Idiotic people here. You don't know better, you shut your mouth. Why you interpret like that? Distorting the picture. Rama's invasion. Maryadaram. Sakala Gunaviram. Understand? He tells Lakshman, I can end the creation within minutes, but I don't want to do it. Understand? Okay. The point is that this is what? Yana means journey. Now explain the concept, what is Mahayana? Mahayana means the great journey of the soul of the Buddha. Whose soul is this? Buddha's soul. Acharya Nagarjuna says that Buddha's Atma is resting in the seventh heaven. That is the highest heaven. He had gone up to that level. Right? To a point of no return, I said. That is called Mahaparinirvan. Mahaparinirvan. A point of no return. But Nagarjuna says now, in Mahayana Buddhism, that Buddha's Atma resting in the seventh heaven, Tushita, it would come back to the earth to liberate the mankind. Buddha says, if your desire is not fulfilled, you are bound to come back to the earth. Are you understanding? So Nagarjuna's fundamental, look at this genius. Understand? Nagarjuna's fundamental question, is Buddha your desire fulfilled? Your desire is to liberate the mankind. Mankind is still suffering misery. How long you would sit like that? In the seventh heaven. You have got to come back to this world to liberate all of us. We are suffering under misery. Your mission not fulfilled. Your desire is not fulfilled. You Buddha, you would come back again. Same logic of Buddha applied against Buddha. Understand? For Nagarjuna, Buddha's Atma would make an endless journey. Okay. Buddha would come down to the earth. Okay. And he would go back again to the heavens. This cycle of Buddha coming and going back, this is endless. Okay. That's why endless journey of the life of the Buddha, Atma of the Buddha, that is Mahayana. So long as mankind remains under misery, the Buddha would keep coming back to the earth. Mahayana Buddhism gave the name for the future Buddha, the one who is going to come and liberate us, Maitreya. Maitreya. That's the question in your UPSC. Okay. When I was addressing a class in Sriram, I used to teach in Sriram earlier. An attendant sitting outside the class, he also prepared for civil, self-made fellow. At 10th he cleared, inter cleared, degree cleared. Then we all supported him for his exam. He got into IRS. Told me, sir, I used to sit outside and listen. You said this. Question came on that. The future Buddha who is going to come back to the earth, you call him Maitreya, the Mitra, friend of the mankind. Okay. This is Mahayana. Mahayanism also tells you another important concept, that Buddha, okay, being born as a Siddhartha, is not the first and the last. Last, you are clear now. It's not definitely last. Mahayana Buddhism says it's not the first also. According to Mahayana Buddhism, the Buddha had nearly 550 births. 550 births. As if they had seen, you understand? Got the point? The Buddha had 550 previous births. Okay. The logical end of that, Siddhartha. In all the 550 previous births also, he had been searching for knowledge. Knowledge. When he was born as a Siddhartha, finally he realized it. This is called Janma Samskar. Are you understanding? Okay. You look at one criminal here, always beating people. It's because he's Janma Samskar. It's not that he had this samskar in this birth. He must have had it in previous births also. Are you understanding? Okay. Some are deeply interested in religious studies. In his previous births, he must have been like that. So, Mahayana Buddhism says, the Buddha had nearly 550 previous births. In all that previous births, he had been searching for knowledge. Okay. Of this nearly 550 previous births, he had taken human form 24 times. This 24 times Buddha taking human form, otherwise he was also there in the form of animals, birds and all that. According to Mahayana Buddhism, 24 times the Buddha had human form. That human form is what is called Manushi Buddha, who had taken the form of Manishi, man. Manushi Buddha. Okay. This Manushi Buddha could have definitely become Buddha. Are you understanding? But he didn't want to. He postponed. Manushi Buddha postponed his enlightenment on his own. Why he postponed his enlightenment on his own? Out of compassion for mankind. If he gets enlightenment, then he would go quite far. He won't return back. Are you understanding? So postpone it. I am interested in giving salvation to these people. Are you understanding? Okay. So who is Bodhisattva? I am explaining the concept of Bodhisattva. Bodhisattva means he who postponed his idea of getting enlightenment in the interest of liberating the mankind from the misery. Got the point? He could have definitely become Buddha. He is on par with Buddha. But he never wanted to pursue it further. No less than Buddha. Not Buddha, no less than Buddha. Equal. Okay. That form is called Bodhisattva. Mahayana Buddhism introduced a new concept called Bodhisattva. Understand? Are you clear about who is Bodhisattva? Yes. Mahayana Buddhism describes different types of Bodhisattvas. Akshobhya, Amitabha, Avalokiteshvara. Understand? Amogha Siddhi. Different forms of Buddha. Akshobhya. Okay, this is form of actually, Bodhisattva. On par with Buddha, I told you. Okay, there is no fundamental difference between the two. Only the thing is, Buddha declared himself enlightened. Bodhisattva postponing enlightenment. That is the only thing. Akshobhya, unshakable, man with great power. Amitabha, illuminated with knowledge. Okay. Illuminated with knowledge. Light of knowledge. Amitabha. Buddhist literature tells you Amitabha created one place called Sukhavati. All are not eligible to enter there. Only the ones who are, dedicated to him, who are loyal to him, and who accept him, okay, they are allowed into Sukhavati. There's a place he created. According to Buddhist literature, I'm telling you all this. Amitabha. Amitabha, also dancing Buddha. Understand? Dancing Buddha in eternal bliss. Okay. When you hear a very good news, you dance. Isn't it? When you are in eternal bliss, your body won't be under your control. Okay. You will be dancing. Okay. Dancing Buddha, the other form of the dancing Buddha is Amitabha. Manjusri. Okay. That means the Bodhisattva with textbook in his hand, lot of knowledge. Understand? Maitreya, I already told you, who is going to come and liberate. Okay. Samantabhadra. Okay, this is fantastic. Samantabhadra means he holds chakra, wisdom. In Buddhist teachings, this wheel plays a very important thing. Chakra. You remember? Dharma chakra, Dhanya chakra, Kala chakra. Okay. Why I am telling you Samantabhadra is really interesting is, it's he who gives you instantly his blessing and benefices. The moment you look at him, he will give you benefices. Okay. Why I said this is very interesting is because same concept you apply to Balaji temple. Lord Venkateshwara, Balaji in Tirumala. Very striking semblances are there, similarities are there. Okay. When I gave a statement, it created also a big controversy, but I did not withdraw it. Buddhist art architecture, Buddhist concepts of gods, they became the basis for Hindu gods. Are you understanding? Okay. If you go to Tirumala, the Balaji temple, you can watch it for yourself. I told you already, I think. All Hindu gods' mudras are this. This is mudra, Abhaya mudra. Okay. This mudra you see for the first time in Buddhist sculpture, not in Hindu sculpture. That means Hindu sculpture, temple, art architecture, the result of definitely Buddhist art architecture. Very simple. When I go to that one, I will explain that. Okay. So Samantabhadra. Then you have another Buddha's form, Vairochana, the guardian of Dharma, he who guards Dharma. These are all different forms of Bodhisattvas, okay, who are on par with Buddha. But they don't go to the stage of Buddha because they wanted to liberate people. No, this is the concept. Mahayana. Okay. Mahayana is for liberating all from the misery. If Buddha gets liberated himself, that is meaningless. Buddha is striving for liberating the whole universe. That is the basis for Mahayana. For the Mahayanas, Buddha is God, nothing less than God. Nothing wrong in worshipping the Buddha. Mahayanas declare the Buddha as God. They follow rituals and ceremonies. Got the point? They introduce Sanskrit. Whatever that was said no by Buddha, that all entered into Buddhism. In other words, my dear, Mahayana Buddhism, corrupt form of Buddhism. Buddha never said that he would come back. Buddha never said he had previous births. Buddha never said that he is God. First of all, he never says that he is Guru also. He tells Anand, Anand, don't accept Guru, don't accept me. You fellow, you pose questions, you get answers on your own. Okay. Guru is very dangerous. Guru, instead of giving you his knowledge, sometimes Guru may mislead you also. But Anand, you prepare everything on your own. Are you understanding? And that is the message of the Buddha. That's why I also told you, I am not Buddha. I am also, I told you in the very first class also, prepare everything on your own. Remember? Okay. Don't depend upon anyone, faculty or anyone. You have got to do everything on your own. Okay. I had bitter experiences. I felt someone, really expert in legal matters. Very senior lawyer. Okay. When I spoke to him, interacted with him, I came to know he doesn't know basics even. Basics even. This would be your experience also. Okay. So, do everything on your own. Otherwise, things will go wrong. Right? So, Mahayana Buddhism, okay, accepting the Buddha, following rituals, accepting Sanskrit. This is definitely not Buddhistic. What is Hinayana? Hina means less. Hinayana means pure Buddhism. For them, Buddha never had previous births, nor he would have future birth. Buddha, great intellectual, not God. Don't defy Buddha. Don't make him God. He is a great intellectual. Don't say Buddha would come again. Don't say that there are previous births of Buddha. Buddha never said these things. Accept only Pali, no Sanskrit. Okay, no ritual, no ceremony. Are you understanding? This is pure form of Buddhism. Hinayana. Buddha born, he wanted knowledge, he got knowledge, and he had parinirvana. That's it. Hina, less journey. Are you clear? Take a note. Give us a wedding. Buddhist councils. Subheading. Buddhist councils. Buddhist councils. Number 1. The first Buddhist council was held at Rajagriha, Rajgir or Rajagriha in 483 BC. Full stop. Mahakashyap was the president. Right. Ajatashatru. Ajatashatru. A-J-A-T-A. Shatru. S-A-T-R-U. Ajatashatru. Greatest of Haryanka dynasty. Haryank dynasty was the chief patron. Full stop. It was in this council Anand, the favorite disciple of the Buddha, composed Sutta Pitaka, Pitaka, Sutta Pitaka, which deals with the original teachings of the Buddha. Next, another disciple, Bhupali. Another disciple, Desciple, another student, disciple, Bhupali, composed Vinaya Pitaka. Vinaya Pitaka, which deals with code of conduct. Code, COD, code of conduct of the Buddhist monks. Fine. Next paragraph. This second Buddhist council was held in 383 BC. At Vaishali. Vaishali, at Vaishali, in Bihar or in Magadha. 100 years after the death. 100 years after the death of the Buddha. Full stop. Sabbakami. Sabbakami was the president. President Sabbakami. Kala Ashok, the greatest of Shishunag dynasty was the chief patron. Full stop. Next paragraph. It was in this council Buddhism was divided. For the first time into prochanges. Prochanges called Mahasangikas. Prochanges called Mahasangikas. Prochanges called Mahasangikas. Underline that. And no changes. And no changes. No changes called Theravadins. Theravadins are Staviravadins. Theravadins are Staviravadins. Within brackets, the followers of elders. They follow the elders. Theravadins are Staviravadins. Full stop. The split was on the question. What was the question? The split was on the question. On the question whether the monk should get back to Sangha. Whether the monk should get back to Sangha by full moon day or not. Whether by full moon day or not. Full stop. Next, give the subheading, Third Buddhist Council. Third Buddhist Council was held around 250 BC. We are not clear about it. It was held around 250, 250 BC in Patliputra, Patna. Full stop. Mogaliputra Tissa. Mogaliputra Tissa. Mogaliputra Tissa, within brackets, Upagupta. Upagupta, Mogaliputra Tissa, otherwise called, his actual name Upagupta. Upagupta, who converted Ashoka into Buddhism. Who converted Ashoka into Buddhism and the Prince of Ceylon. Here's the Prince of Ceylon. And Prince of Ceylon became the president. He became the president. First, he composed, very important, President Tissa composed the third Pitaka, Abhidhamma Pitaka. Underline Abhidhamma Pitaka. Full stop. It deals with Abhidhamma Pitaka deals with Buddhist philosophy. Full stop. The three Pitakas, three P-I-T-A-K-S, three Pitakas are the sacred texts. Sacred texts are scriptures. Scripture or sacred texts of Buddhism. Sacred texts of Buddhism. And all the three were written. And all the three were written in Pali language. In Pali language. Full stop. Next paragraph. In this council, Ashok, in the third council, in this council, Ashok decided to make Buddhism international. Ashok decided to make Buddhism international. Full stop. At the same time, he warned, W-A-R-N, he warned monks not to create differences in Buddhism. Next, give the subheading Fourth Buddhist Council. Fourth Buddhist Council was held at Srinagar. It was held at Srinagar in Kundala Gardens or Kundalavana. In Kundala Gardens or Kundalavana. Gardens or Vana. Kundala Gardens or Kundalavana in 1st century AD. First century AD. Full stop. It was presided over by Vasumitra. Vasumitra, president. It was presided over by Vasumitra, Ashwaghosh, vice president. Ashwaghosh, very, very important for us. I'll tell you his importance later. Ashwaghosh, vice president, and Acharya Nagarjuna. Acharya, Professor Nagarjuna. Acharya, A-C-H-A-R-Y-A, Nagarjuna. Acharya Nagarjuna participated full stop. Kanishk, the greatest of Kushanas, greatest of the Kushan dynasty. Kushan dynasty was the chief patron. Kanishk was the chief patron. Full stop. Next paragraph. It was in this council Buddhism was divided. Buddhism was divided for the second time into Mahayana and Hinayana. Mahayana and Hinayana. Full stop. Now give the subheading Mahayana Buddhism. Subheading Mahayana Buddhism. It was founded by Mahayana Buddhism, founded by Acharya Nagarjuna. Acharya Nagarjuna. Full stop. According to Mahayana Buddhism, according to it, Buddha's Atma, Buddha's soul, S-O-U-L, Buddha's Atma is resting in the seventh heaven, resting in the seventh heaven, Tushita. Seventh heaven, Tushita. T-U-S-H-I-T-A. Underline Tushita. T-U-S-H-I-T-A. Tushita. Full stop. It comes down to the earth. It comes down to the earth to liberate the mankind. To liberate the mankind from misery. Full stop. As this is an endless process. As this is an endless process. Endless process. It is called Mahayana. Are you clear? It is called Mahayana, within brackets, great journey. Mahayana, great journey, brackets close. Next paragraph. It introduced a new concept called Mahayana Buddhism introduced a new concept called Bodhisattvas, B-O-D-H-I-S-A-T-V-A, B-O-D-H-I-S-A-T-V-A, Bodhisattvas, T-V-A-S, add S, Bodhisattvas, full stop. According to it, according to Mahayana Buddhism, it means Mahayana Buddhism. The Buddha had two heads, had nearly 550 previous births. 550 previous births. Previous births, of which he had actually taken human form, 24 times. 24 times called Manushi Buddhas. Manushi. M-A-N-U-S-H-I. Buddha. Manushi Buddhas. 24 times called Manushi Buddhas. Full stop. In all the previous births, he had been searching for knowledge. Full stop. Bodhisattva means he who postponed the enlightenment, postponed the enlightenment for the sake of humanity, Are you clear? Who could have definitely become Buddha, but he postponed it for the sake of humanity. That is Bodhisattva. Full stop. Next paragraph. Important Bodhisattvas. Important Bodhisattvas. Number 1. Akshobhya. A-K-S-H-O. B-H-Y-A. Akshobhya. Akshobhya Bodhisattva means unshakable manifestation of power. Unshakable. You can't shake him. Unshakable. He is also called Akshobhya, he is also called Vajrapani. Next Bodhisattva, Amitabha. Amitabha means illuminated with knowledge, bright, illuminated or bright with knowledge. Full stop. According to Buddhism, under Amitabha, according to Buddhism, he created a place called, Amitabha created a place called Sukhavati. Sukhavati. Okay. For those who believe in him, and who surrendered to him. Full stop. He is also called the dancing Buddha. Have you heard of one place called Tambala? It's mystical. Some people say they have seen it. Some say they only heard of it, they have not seen it. This is a mysterious place between India and Tibet. Okay. Those who claim that they had seen, they say it is divine. Okay. There you have celestial bodies also coming from heavens. Okay. What the Sukhavati, the Buddha created according to Buddhism, Tibetans very strongly believe it might be Tambala, the place. We are trying to locate it, but it's beyond your comprehension. Okay. Some say, yes, they have seen it. Okay. Some say it is mysterious. We don't know. Right. Next Bodhisattva after Amitabh, Amogha Siddhi. Amogha Siddhi. Amogha Siddhi means unshakable, infallible. Amogha Siddhi means, listen, wait. Amogha Siddhi means with extraordinary power. Is with extraordinary power. Otherwise called Vishwapani. Vishwa, Viswa. Otherwise called Vishwapani. Full stop. Next, fourth one. Avalokiteshvara Manjusri. Two names are there for one form only. Avalokiteshvara. Avalokiteshvara and Manjusri. Some textbooks they deal these two separately. That way 9. If you club the two, then it is only 1. 8 only. I am going to give the names of 9. If you separate these two, if you club the two, then it would be only 8. You mean Avalokiteshvara and Padmapani are just the same? They are the same. Their bhava, tattva is just the same. What is the tattva? Compassion, kind-hearted. Both have one common quality. What is that common quality? Both are highly compassionate, highly kind-hearted. Then what is the difference? Avalokiteshvara you see in deep meditation. Closed his eyes in deep meditation with a benign smile on his lips, enjoying the bliss. You see Avalokiteshvara always in the sitting posture. Sitting posture in deep meditation. Highly compassionate, this kind-hearted. Padmapani, Padma means lotus. He who holds lotus. This form of the Buddha you see always in standing. You don't see Padmapani in sitting posture. Always standing, holding lotus. Barring that, both the forms are just the same, quality-wise. Are you clear? Both are compassionate, both are kind-hearted. But one you would see in sitting posture in meditation, the other one you see holding Padma. Are you clear? Right now. Padmapani, oblique, Manjus, Padmapani, oblique. Okay. Avalokiteshvara, oblique, Padmapani. Okay. Avalokiteshvara, oblique, Padma, P-A-D-M-A. Padmapani. Avalokiteshvara, oblique, Padmapani. Full stop. Both are known for their compassion or kind-hearted nature. Compassion. COMPASSION. Full stop. The first one, who is first one? Avalokiteshvara. Avalokiteshvara is seen. Avalokiteshvara is seen in deep meditation. In deep meditation, whereas Padmapani always in the standing posture, always in standing posture, holding lotus. Fine. Next, fifth one, Manjusri. M-A-N-J-U. Manju. M-A-N-J-U-S-R-I. Manjusri. M-A-N-J-U-S-R-I. Manjusri. Manjusri means Bodhisattva with a textbook in his hand. Bodhisattva in a textbook in his hand is the Lord of knowledge. Full stop. Next, Maitreya. M-A-I-T-R-E-Y-A. Maitreya. Maitreya means the future Buddha. Future Buddha. I already told you, the one who is going to come. Next, Samantabhadra. Samanta. S-A-M-A-N-T-A. Samanta Bhadra. B-A-D-R-A. Samantabhadra means most auspicious. Most auspicious. Shubhaprada. Who blesses instantly. Who blesses instantly. Samantabhadra. Full stop. Next one. Vairochana. V-A-I-R-O-C-H-A-N-A. Vairochana. Vairochana means the Buddha known for dharma. The Buddha known for dharma. Dharmakaya. He protects dharma. So, under Samantabhadra, you please add one more point. He is also called, Samantabhadra is also called, the other name, Chakrapani. Samantabhadra is also called Chakra, C-H-A-K-R-A. Pani, P-A-N-I. Chakrapani. These are all different forms of Bodhisattvas. Otherwise also you can equate them on par with Buddha. Very important from examination point. Next paragraph. Mahayanism accepted. Mahayanism accepted rituals and ceremonies. Rituals and ceremonies, comma, declared the Buddha as God. Declared the Buddha as God. And accepted Sanskrit. Mahayanism accepted Sanskrit as the medium. Mark these things important. Next paragraph. It became quite popular. It means Mahayanism. Mahayanism became quite popular in China, Taiwan, Korea and Japan. First. Now give the subheading Hinayana Buddhism. Hinayana, second one, H-I-N-A, Y-A-N-I-S-M, Hinayanism or Hinayana Buddhism. It is the pure form of Buddhism. First, for it, Buddha never had, for Hinayana Buddhism, for it, Buddha never had any previous births, nor he would come in future. N-O-R, nor. No previous birth, nor future. Nor he would come in future. Full stop. For it, Buddha not a god. For Hinayana Buddhism, Buddha not a god, but great philosopher. Full stop. Next. No ceremonies and rituals. No ceremonies and rituals, and no tradition of worshipping the Buddha. Full stop. They worship, full stop. They accept only Pali. Hinayanism accept only Pali as the language. Clear? Full stop. Put a full stop there. Listen. These are the 4 Buddhist councils. Then how Buddhism became popular and how Buddhism ended. Popularity of Buddhism, its ideology appealed to different sections of society. When Buddha said, you Kshatriya, you are first, Brahmin, you are second. Buddha ended the ego clash between Brahmin and Kshatriyas, giving first place to Kshatriyas. Buddha preached non-violence, no war. So he could save the resources. Number 1, protect the small republican states against the imperial states. That's why, and above all, Buddha himself a Kshatriya. So Kshatriyas accepted him as their man. Himself a Kshatriya. He protected the interests of the Vaishyas. You insolvent, first you must clear the debt. You have taken the loan, you have not cleared, and you want to join Sangha. Okay. That is not accepted. Here he protected the interests of moneylenders and the Vaishyas. Then Buddha encouraged Vaishyas to go for trade, commerce, industry, make profit, nothing wrong with profit. That way, Vaishyas very much impressed by Buddhism. They wanted exactly an ideology like that. Next, Shudra. You Shudra, your main problem, you are declared ineligible for moksha by Brahmanism. The Buddha declared all are eligible for salvation, moksha. Secondly, I told you, Shudra, not by birth, it's by merit. That means anyone who can become a Brahmin. In Buddhist caste system, you have upward mobility. Mobility is permitted. Anyone could become a Brahmin Kshatriya. Okay. A Shudra can as well become a Brahmin Kshatriya. Merit is the criteria. That's very much welcomed by Shudras. Buddha condemned killing cow. Not cow exclusively, cattle. Okay. Brahmin ceremonies and rituals, they end with killing cattle, consuming meat. Understand? That is affecting the interest of Shudras, because Shudras depended upon cattle. Buddha, in his text, there is one text called Suttani Pada, Suktani Pada, moral teachings of the Buddha. There he says, cattle gives you annada, vastrada, sampada, sukhada. Everything is given by cattle. You fellows, you kill it and eat its flesh. Okay. Innocent fellows. Innocent beings, we kill them and we are eating their flesh. Okay. They give you sampada, prosperity, annada, understand, food. Okay. Sukhada, they give you lot of pleasure. Okay. Rearing cattle is pleasureful. Okay. This is the popular quote of the Buddha. That way Buddha protected the interest of the Shudras. So this everything appealed to every section. Some of the Brahmins also accepted the Buddha's proficiency as great scholar. Okay. So Buddhism became very popular. Popularity of Buddhism was also because of great kings of ancient times. They are all attracted towards Buddhism. I told you Ajatashatru, greatest of the Haryanka dynasty, killed his own father, Bimbisara, touching the feet of the Buddha, Prasenajit of Kosala, very powerful kings. I told you Sisnag dynasty, Kala Ashok. Then I said Ashok, the greatest of the Mauryas, all patronizing Buddhism. I gave a statement in the Third Buddhist Council. Ashok decided to make Buddhism international. International, yes. Class, please remember, Samrat Ashok, the first missionary king, sending missions, delegations to different foreign countries. Maharakshita Rakshit, the monk sent by Ashok to Greece. Greece. You go to Greece, Maharakshit, preach and promote Buddhism. Tara, another monk, to Suvarnabhumi, that means Myanmar. In ancient times, Burma or Myanmar, it was called Suvarnabhumi. You Tara, go and preach and promote Buddhism in Suvarnabhumi. His son and daughter, Mahendra and Sangamitra, they were sent to Ceylon by Ashok. Here, bhikshus, I told you bhikshus means monks. They played commendable role in promoting Buddhism. Who were these bhikshus? Vijaya Singhava, first to preach Buddhism in Ceylon. Kumarajiva, first to preach Buddhism in China. Okay. I think I have told you the movie Seventh Sense. There is one movie called Seventh Sense. Tamil hero, okay, Surya portrayed the character. A lovely movie. Portrayed the character, okay, of Bodhidharma. Bodhidharma, remember? Bodhidharma going to Tibet, going to China, preaching Buddhism there. In the movie, you are given the impression that he was the first to preach Buddhism in China. Not that. Even before Bodhidharma, you have Kumarajiv. Kumarajiv, 2nd century AD, first to go to China there, preaching Buddhism there. Right. Bodhidharma, 5th century, Pallavan prince. Okay. Before Bodhidharma, you have Kumarajiva. Padmasambhav, first to preach Buddhism in Tibet. I told you Ashwaghosh. Ashwaghosh, okay, vice president, 4th Buddhist Council. Ashwaghosh, brilliant scholar Ashwaghosh. Poet, singer, dramatist, excellent short storyteller Ashwaghosh. Ashwaghosh went up to Khotan in Central Asia, preaching, promoting Buddhism. Ashwaghosh used to go around places singing the glory of Buddha. Singing the glory of Buddha. Ashwaghosh and King Kanishk made Buddhism popular in Central Asia. Indo-Greeks. Indo-Greeks means the ones who had come with Alexander. In 326 BC, Alexander invaded India. Some of his commanders, they decided to stay back in India. Okay. You call them Indo-Greeks. Right. The greatest of the Indo-Greeks, King Menander. Menander converted into Buddhism by Nagasena. The dialogue between the two, that is the text called Milind. Milind Pana, P-A-N-H-A. Very, very important. Okay. Almost all the ancient dynasties patronized Buddhism, except Guptas. For Guptas also, Guptas ardent champions of Brahmanism. Guptas promoted Brahmanism. Guptas promoted Brahman, no Buddhism, Brahmanism. Okay. Vaishnavism, that too. Samudra, the only king in Indian history, I should say, who had gone to the nook and corner of India. Okay. Samudra defeated 9 kings of Aryavarta, 18 kings of Jabalpur, Vindhya region, 12 kings of South India, and Samudra, the only king who entered northeast. Samatata, Davaka, Kamarupa, Nepala, Kutura, all surrendered to Samudra. Okay. He was not for entering into Punjab and Rajasthan. Excellent strategist. Let it be like that only. Why? Okay. Because they are always troubled areas. Got the point? Samudra conquered. He was not for ruling. He gave them back all the territories whichever he conquered. You fellows, take back your territories. Don't promote Buddhism and Jainism. Only Brahmanism. That's it. Got the point? Why Samudra had not entered into Punjab and Rajasthan? The right time for me to discuss that when I go to Guptas. Because I said simply they are troubled areas. Troubled areas better not you touch. Let the fellows remain like that. If any foreign race attacking them, they will defend. Got the point? They defend themselves or else they will perish. If occupying them is not a big problem. Samudra could easily occupy Punjab region and Rajasthan and other areas. Very easily. Okay. But defending them is a big headache. Are you getting the point? That's why some historians feel even today, it's in the good interest of India only. India got divided into India and Pakistan. Okay. What to happen? It happened. Understand? Otherwise, if you come to think of it, India, Pakistan, Afghanistan, all united India, then who would deal with these people? Lashkar-e-Toyyaba, Toyyamu, Bonga, Boshan, and all that. Always fighting. Okay. No development at all. War. Or ganja. They're a big nuisance, They are realizing now. They are repenting for what had happened. Unfortunately, I have not addressed you people, I think, in modern India. Never Muslims wanted Pakistan. Okay. Separatist movements, always the movements of a few who wanted their own recognition. Unfortunate. But for some historians, ठीक है जो हुआ अच्छा हुआ है भाई जाने दो उनको. Understand? Huh? Now coming back to Buddhism and Guptas, Samudra was very much a staunch follower of Vaishnavism, Brahmanism. His policy, you Buddhism, so long as you don't criticize Brahmanism, we have no objection. Buddhism said, okay. Understand? Permission granted. You Buddhists, what do you want? We want one stupa. ठीक है, जाओ. Understand? Samudra granted permission for Buddhists to construct stupa in Patliputra. Samudra appointed great Vasubandhu, a great scholar, Buddhist scholar, as a tutor for his son Chandragupta. Provided you Buddhists won't criticize Brahmanism. Understand? That's the policy. Okay. Harshavardhan, the last great in ancient times. Right. He was converted into Mahayana Buddhism by Huansang. Harsha, a Shaivite, staunch follower of Shaivism. He was converted into Mahayana Buddhism by Chinese Buddhist pilgrim Huansang. Harsha conducted Buddhist conferences at Prayag and Kanauj. So Buddhism relatively enjoyed great patronage except under Guptas. Right. Pala dynasty of Bengal, they were the last to patronize Buddhism. Dharmapal, the greatest of Palas, founded 3 universities. I already told you. First Buddhist university, Sri Parvat, by Nagarjuna. Under Guptas, you have Nalanda University founded by Kumaragupta. There's a lovely question in UPSC. Why you call Nalanda a university? Why not Takshashila? In Indian history, my dear, Takshashila, the first center for learning, founded by Taksh, King Taksh. Why don't you call Takshashila a university? Why only Nalanda? It's because for you to call one center of learning as university, first it must have library, boarding, lodging facility, well expanded curriculum, okay, independent source of revenue. Then only it is university. Takshashila has none of these. Okay. Whereas Nalanda had everything. Nalanda's library, my God, I'm telling you, 1 lakh titles, 1 lakh textbooks in ancient times. Ratnagarbha, Ratnagarbha with 1 lakh textbooks. Boarding, lodging, Huyansang tells you, at any given point of time, you had 10,000 students there, boarding and lodging. Revenue from 6,000 villages, straight away it would go to Nalanda University for its maintenance. Okay. Well expanded curriculum. Not only Buddhist studies, Brahmanical studies, okay, chemistry, physics, astronomy, mathematics, all branches. Reference point Nalanda. Okay. Palas, Dharmapala founded 3 universities. Okay. Great contribution of Buddhism is to promote higher education. Vikramasila, Uddandapura, Jagaddala universities. Ramapala founded, okay, Somapala, he founded Somapura University. Okay. So universities founded. That made Buddhism very popular. Clear? Then why Buddhism disappeared in India? What was the problem? What was the crisis Buddhism faced? Why today we don't see Buddhism in India? The land where it was born and it flourished. Unfortunately, it disappeared. What went wrong with Buddhism? Problems with Buddhism, internal. Any religion, any movement, it would end up as a failure, mainly because of its own internal problems. Internal problems? Yes. What are internal problems? When Buddha encouraged Buddhists to go for trade commerce, Buddhists became very rich merchants. It's that they are very rich. Sangha also became very rich. Donations for the Sanghas. Sanghas became very rich and prosperous. You see what will happen with riches, wealth and prosperity, all social evils would end. They enter along, not end, they enter along with that. When Sanghas became very rich, prosperous and wealthy, vices, bad habits like drinking, prostitution, they all entered into Sangha. Got the point? Sangha lost its moral and ethical phase. Sanghas condemned as centers for brothel houses, prostitutes. Right. This is the first decadence, the downfall starting within Sangha. Second problem, Buddhism found it difficult to maintain its identity against Brahmanism. Okay. Brahmanism, very clever, naive and very dangerous Brahmanism also. Understand? Whichever is very attractive is very dangerous. Got the point? Huh? Attractive means it is distracting. Got the point? You can't resist Brahmanism. That's the problem. Okay. Whichever that had come very close to Brahmanism, they lost their identity. Brahmanism is like a black hole. You get closer to it, it will catch you, it will absorb you. You lose your identity. See, problem started with Mahayana Buddhism. Most of the Mahayanis were Brahmins. This problem with, a Brahmin getting converted. If you convert a Brahmin into your religion, he would bring along with him his language, his customs and his traditions. Finally corrupting you. Got the point? Now most of the Brahmins converted into Buddhism, okay, They were the champions of Mahayana Buddhism. Nagarjuna himself a Brahmin. Vasumitra, all Brahmins. Okay. They declared Buddha God. Buddha never said, poor fellow, God, I am not God and all that. But these Mahayanists declared Buddha God. That's what actually Brahmanism waiting for. The moment I have not completed. No, what happened? The moment Mahayanists declared the Buddha as God, immediately Brahmins declared Buddha, ninth avatar of Vishnu Bhagavan. Finish. That's master stroke. Understand? Where answer my question. Where is Buddha today? You can only see Buddha as ninth avatar. Dashavatars you have. You know, at least you have Dashavatars in Hinduism. Ninth avatar? Ninth avatar? Buddha Bhagavan. Okay. So give him avatar. Whoever that criticizes Brahmanism, Brahmanism would declare him avatar. You are avatar. Finish. Understand? I told my Christian friends also, are idiots, you are trying to convert a Brahmin into Christianity. They are imitating. We have very good friends in Christianity, Islam and all that. Lovely friends we have. They are dear to us. Then I asked him, why are you imitating Brahmanism, my dear? In church they have started bhajan. Bhajan, Sunday bhajan. Bhajan nahi hai Christianity mein. Procession. Jesus Christ procession. Okay. You are imitating Brahmanism. One fine morning, one Brahmin converted would declare, Jesus 11th avatar of Vishnu Bhagavan. Finish. Is that it? You know Siddhi Sai Baba? Today where is Siddhi Sai Baba? Siddhi Sai Baba went and sat in a masjid. Okay, great Sufi saint, Siddhi Sai Baba. Sabka Malik ek hai. Our Hindus went there. Aap hamara Malik hai. Dhop, Deep, Harati, coconut breaking there. Okay. And finally, Muslims forgot Sai Baba today. He had become more God for Hindus. These are dynamics. Are you understanding? Of religion. And Buddhism no exception. No reform movement against Brahmanism proved successful. Ram Mohan Rai tried. What happened finally? Okay. Problem is Buddhism. Not only Buddhism, any reformist movement against Brahmanism, Brahmanism knows how to counter it. Are you understanding? Buddha finally became ninth avatar. Lost his identity. Another problem. Okay. What is the difference between Buddhism, Jainism and Brahmanism? What is something new about Buddhism and Jainism? Did Buddha and Mahavir teach something new that's not there in Brahmanism? Okay. Only to ask this question, you have Adi Shankara. Shankaracharya, the great philosopher, challenging Buddhists and the Jains. You Buddhists and the Jains, you fellows come here. What is it that is something new about you people? Did you teach something new? Show me what is that new. Whatever the Buddha and Mahavir taught, that has something to do with Upanishads and the Vedas. Are you understanding? Then why do you say that you are different? In what way you are different? It's a old wine in a new bottle, is it? Brand change हो गया, वो तो वही है. With Shankara, with his resound logic, Tarka challenged the Buddhists and the Jains, defeated them, proved that Buddhism and Brahmanism, after all, branches of the same tree, Hinduism or Brahmanism. They are not different. Are you understanding? It's like this. When I am teaching you people, I will go to the extent of telling, see, whatever I teach, you will not see anywhere else. I am Pista Pahad, number one in the subject, Pitamaha in the subject. Then you started clapping. Oh, इतना बड़ा महान teacher है ऐसा. One fine morning, in the Karol Bagh Sunday market, you had seen one textbook. One textbook. जो मैं पढ़ाया पूरा वो सब उसमें है. Whatever I taught, verbatim that is there. You are shocked. Arey, he says that, whatever he teaches is not there in any textbook. This man must be reading this textbook to come into the class. He is teaching as if he had done something great. Very next day you come with the same textbook into the class. When I start blowing my trumpet again, I am Pista Pahad, aisa. Then you have raised your hand. Sir, dekho ye textbook. Okay. Whatever you taught, it is there in the textbook. In what way you are great? Finished. I am finished. Okay. Problem is, no one can teach something new. That too against Brahmanism. Brahmanism ये बोलता है. Brahmanism ये भी बोलता है. What can you teach in between? Huh? Go slow. When you walk slow, then it says, Alashyam Amrutam Visham. Walk fast. Okay. Contradiction is this. There is everything in Brahmanism and there is nothing at the same time. Okay. Then what can you teach? Something new. That's why great Buddha said, Arey, please don't drag into controversies. जो मैं बोला सुनो करो कुछ का बस. Shankara, Adi Shankara, gave a death blow to Buddhism. Proved that Buddhism, Jainism, they are not independent. They have no independent identity. They are after all branches of Brahmanism. Great loss. Finishing touch was given by Islam. Understand? When Islam entered India, that is the end of Buddhism. Okay. We have two versions of Islam, my dear. Arabic Islam and Turkish Islam. Don't brand Islam red. Islam a great religion. Very great religion. Unfortunately, Muslims are not talking the good aspects of Islam. Get the point? Arabs, enlightened Arabs, gave a lot of importance for education. Arabic Islam entered India and got our knowledge. Arabs translated everything. An Arab coming to your home, first he would see your library. What all the books you have. If he doesn't have that, he will sit and record it and go, thanking you. Turkey is not like that. The moment Turk comes into your house, he will search for your money purse first. Paisa kahan hai? Okay. Arabs never cause any destruction. Please remember this. You can make out the way Arab world deals with India. They have a very positive outlook of India. They want development. Okay. ये जिहादी ऐसा नहीं चलता उधर. Understand? We have Turkish Islam entering into India with Ghazni, Ghori, and finally Aybak, founding Islamic Empire. Aybak's commander Bakhtiyar Khilji. In 1197, Bakhtiyar Khilji attacked Bihar, Bengal. Bakhtiyar killed indiscriminately the monks, destroying Buddhist stupas. Why they are targeting Buddhist sanghas, stupas? Because they are centers of prosperity, wealth. That attracted them. Bakhtiyar destroyed the great Nalanda University. 1 lakh textbooks were reduced to ashes. I should say this is the greatest loss mankind ever faced, I must tell you. If Hiroshima, Nagasaki atom bomb ended, 4.5 lakh people dying at a time. For me, It's a loss, yes, human loss. But loss of knowledge is more a loss. Okay. Once a textbook is destroyed, means you cannot create it. Isn't it? A heinous act of Bhaktiar Khilji. Okay. First he asked Vice Chancellor of Nalanda University, Silabhadra, you Silabhadra, you are a physician. Can you cure my asthma? Why not? I can cure anything. Then cure it. Silabhadra gave him a text. He said, I don't read any text unless it is Persian, Islamic. Okay. Silabhadra gave him his own text in his own language. Asked him to read that 3 days and tell him. Silabhadra applied some herbs. Understand? When you turn the page, turning the pages, fumes come out of that. When you inhale the fume, you are taking the fume. Right? That's how Silabhadra cured asthma. Bhaktiar Khilji was overwhelmed. The fantastic Silabhadra. Now I am free from asthma. What did you do? Nothing. I just applied some powders there. Asked you to turn the pages, that's all. When you turn the page, the fume you will inhale. That will cure your asthma. Immediately, Silabhadra was beheaded. He was killed. This was what the treatment. This knowledge shall not survive. That's the statement. Abdul Kalam, our former president, was very much moved away by this. When Muslim commander destroyed Nalanda University, one Muslim president decided to revive it. You have Nalanda University functioning? Know that? Yes. Okay. No one to protect the monks. It's lack of protection. Buddhism left for Nepal. Indiscriminate killing. Okay. Are you clear? That's the end of Buddhism. Take a note. Is it time for a break? Huh? Say yes or no. Go for break. Take a note. Different forms of Buddhism. First you take a note on that, then I will give the remaining part dictation. Different forms of Buddhism. FORMS, forms of Buddhism. Just listen. I have not given you understanding on this. Class, listen for 5 minutes. When Mahayana Buddhism was formed, I told you Buddha declared God. Each one worshipped Buddha in their own way. It's because of Mahayana Buddhism. There were as many as 33 sects formed within Buddhism. 33. What were these popular sects within Buddhism? I told you in Bihar, Bengal, you had 3 universities founded. Vikramshila, Dandapura, Jagaddala. And another one, Somapura. Vikramshila University, first Vice Chancellor, Atish Deepankar, he founded a new form of Buddhism that is called Vajrayana Buddhism. What is Vajrayana Buddhism? Vajra means diamond. Diamond very hard. You can't break it. Very hard. Just as that, there are some hard yogic exercises in Buddhist Yoga Shastra. If you follow them, practice them, you can reach the stage of the Buddha in your present life itself. Are you understanding? It's a shortcut. Okay. The Buddha, to reach his stage Buddha, he had taken, according to Mahayana Buddhism, 550 births. Okay. Why to wait for that long? You follow these yogic exercises, very hard, not that easy, very hard. Okay. So hard that you call it as Vajra. Vajra, very difficult to break. Break hard, so hard. So it's an easy way to reach the stage of the Buddha if you follow the yogic practices. Dipankar was the founder of Vajrayana Buddhism. A branch of Vajrayana Buddhism closely connected to that entered into Tibet. You call it Tibetan Buddhism. Kalachakra. Actual name, Kalachakra. Okay. In Kalachakra, you have some symbols and signs. I don't know how many of you are from Himachal. You may have gone to Himachal Pradesh. There you have Buddhist monasteries. Okay. Did you observe? Okay. They come very close to that of Tibetan Buddhism. Tibetan Buddhism. In Dharmashala, you see, well, Dalai Lama also took shelter there for some time. Okay. Tibetan Buddhism. There they turn the wheel. Okay. Did you observe? In that wheel also you have some signs and symbols. They believe they have magical power to give. This form of Buddhism, worshipping certain signs and symbols for magical powers, is Kalachakra Buddhism. Okay. They go for mandalas, they draw the designs. Just like in Atharvana Veda, you have designs, I told you, for invoking evil spirits, right? Similarly, in Kalachakra also you have mandalas. Mandalas means designs for invoking power, positive energy or negative energy, whatever that is. Okay. This is Kalachakra Buddhism. In Nepal, you have Tantric Buddhism. Tantra. Mantra is word. Tantra is deed. You understand? Magic. Tantric Buddhism in Nepal. Then there is another one, Sahajayana Buddhism. Striking balance between physical and, spiritual. Physical and spiritual in sense means what? For Sahajayana Buddhism, nothing wrong in satisfying your physical needs, sexual desires. Okay. That's one reason why, perversion started in Buddhism. Got the point? You justify satisfying your sexual desires, then where is the end for that? Okay. So there are different forms of Buddhism developed. They are very popular, these four. Take a note. Different forms of Buddhism. Number one, Vajrayana Buddhism. Vajrayana Buddhism. It was founded by Atisha Dipankar. Atish Dipankar. Dipankar, the first Vice Chancellor of Vikramshila University. Vikramshila, Vikram, Sile. Dipankar, first Vice Chancellor of Vikramshila University. Full stop. It was called Vajrayana It's called Vajrayana as it prescribes such hard yogic exercises, such hard like diamond, right, like that, such hard like diamond, Vajra, such hard like diamond, yogic exercises to reach the stage of Buddha to reach the stage of Buddha in one's own life. Are you understanding? One's own life. Full stop. Next, number 2. Kalachakra Buddhism. Very important. Kalachakra Buddhism Kalachakra Buddhism, a branch of Vajrayana Buddhism, a branch of Vajrayana Buddhism started in Tibet. This Tibetan Buddhism started in Tibet. Started in Tibet by Padmasambhav. Padma Sambhav. Full stop. In this, some signs and symbols were worshipped. Some signs and symbols are worshipped for magical powers. Signs and symbols worshipped for magical powers. Powers. Full stop. Next. You see, Dalai Lama, the great Tibetan guru, he is believed to have these powers. You can see Dalai Lama. For his devotees, they say, you can see him at a time 10 places or so. Right? They have magical powers. They don't allow you to touch the feet of Dalai Lama because he carries the miseries and the sufferings of the people. That's why you are not allowed to touch his feet. So this mysticism, it is part of Tibetan Buddhism. Right. Next, after Kalachakra Buddhism, Tantric Buddhism. Tantric Buddhism became quite popular in Nepal. It became quite popular in Nepal. Full stop. Under this form, under this Buddhism, or under this, Buddha is worshipped as not Buddha. Under this, taras or stars are worshipped. Right like that. Taras. T-A-R-A-S. Taras means star. Taras, within brackets, stars. Stars are worshipped as the wives of the Buddha. As the wife or spouses. Taras or stars are worshipped as wives of the Buddha for magical powers. Taras as wives of the Buddha for magical powers. Next, after Tantric Buddhism, next one is Sahajayana. Sahajayana Buddhism. Sahajayana Buddhism is the latest form of Buddhism. Latest form of Buddhism. In which perfect balance is Balance is maintained between physical and spiritual. Balance is maintained between physical and spiritual world. WORLD. In other words, it encourages sexual activity and became a perverted form of Buddhism. Became a perverted form, corrupt form of Buddhism. Buddhism. Full stop. Next, give the subheading, expansion of Buddhism. Great kings of ancient India, great kings, expansion of Buddhism, great kings of ancient India extended their patronage to Buddhism. Extended their patronage to Buddhism. Full stop. Samrat Ashok made Buddhism international. Full stop. He sent Maharakshit, R-A-K-S-H-I-T, Rakshit. He sent Maharakshit to Greece, G-R-E-E-C, Kingdom Greece, G-R-E-E-C. Maharakshit to Greece, comma, Tara, T-A-R-A, monk called Tara, Tara to Suvarnabhumi, Suvarna Bhumi. What is Suvarnabhumi? Good, good. Suvarnabhumi. He sent Tara to Suvarnabhumi, within brackets, Myanmar. And his son and daughter, Mahendra and Sangamitra, to Ceylon, Sri Lanka. To Ceylon or Sri Lanka. Full stop. Next paragraph. The great bhikshus, great monks, great bhikshus or great monks, Vijaya Singhav. I am discussing the role of monks now. Vijaya Singhav, Padmasambhav, nahi, Vijay Singhav, Kumara Jiva, and Padmasambhav Vijay Singhav, Kumara Jiva and Padmasambhav were all the first to introduce, were all the first to introduce Buddhism in Ceylon, China, and Tibet respectively. Clear? Respectively. So who was the first to introduce tin Ceylon? Vijay Singh. Right. Then Tibet, Padmasambhav, respectively. Full stop. Next. Menander, very important. Next paragraph. Menander, the greatest of the Indo-Greeks. Menander, the greatest of the Indo-Greeks, was converted into Buddhism. Was converted into Buddhism by Nagasena. By Nagasena. Full stop. The dialogue between the two is the subject matter of the text. Milindapana. Underline the title. Mark it very important. You got questions on this. Mark it important. Milindapana. Next. Ashwaghosh and Kanishk. Ashwaghosh and Kanishk made Buddhism popular in Central Asia. Next paragraph. Acharya Nagarjuna, the greatest scholar, founded the first Buddhist university. Mark it important. First Buddhist university called Sri Parvat. At Nagarjuna Sagar. Sri Parvat at Nagarjuna Sagar, present Telangana state. At Nagarjuna Sagar, full stop. Next, Kumara Gupta, Kumara Gupta, G-U-P-T-A, Kumara Gupta, founded Nalanda University. Full stop. When compared with Taksila, Takshashila, Nalanda was a full-fledged university. As it had wide range of subjects. A very well-established library, called Ratnagarbha, G-A-R-B-A. Underline Ratnagarbha, comma. boarding and lodging facility, boarding and lodging facility, and an independent source of revenue. Are you understanding? Why have I dictated this? To tell you in what way Nalanda a university and Takshashila not university. These are not there in Takshashila. Are you clear? There is a question on this. That's why I dictated that way. Full stop. Next paragraph. Harshavardhan. Harshavardhan. Vardhan, the last great king of ancient times, was converted into Mahayana Buddhism. By Huansang, the Chinese Buddhist pilgrim, Huansang, Huan, Song, Huansang, full stop. Harsha conducted Buddhist conferences. At Prayag and Kanauj, K-A-N-A-U-J, Kanauj, full stop. Next, the Pala dynasty, P-A-L-A. Pala dynasty, which ruled Bengal, were the last great patrons of Buddhism. Full stop. Dharmapala, greatest of the Pala dynasty, founded Vikramshila, Uddandapura, and Jagadala universities. Full stop. Next, Somapala, S-O-M-A-P-A-L-A, Somapala founded Somapura University. Palas followed and promoted. Vajrayana Buddhism. Vajrayan, V-H-A-R-A-Y-A-N. Vajrayana Buddhism. Full stop. Remember I told you? Okay, Vikramshila Dynasty, first Vice Chancellor, Dipankar. Right. Now give the subheading. Decline of Buddhism. Decline of Buddhism. It was due to internal and external problems. As Buddha, number one, as Buddha encouraged trade commerce, as Buddha encouraged trade and commerce, most of the Buddhists became rich merchants. With the prosperity and wealth, evils or vices, vices better you write, vices, bad habits, vices like consumption and prostitution, consumption of liquor, drinking, consumption and prostitution, entered into sanghas, spoiling their image, spoiling their moral and ethical image. Next, number 2. As Mahayana Buddhism declared, the Buddha as God Brahmanism made Buddha. Brahmanism made Buddha ninth avatar of Vishnu. Ninth avatar of Vishnu. Thus, Buddha lost his identity. Thus, Buddhism lost its identity. Full stop. Next, number 2. Next paragraph. Revival of Brahmanism. Revival of Brahmanism under the Guptas, particularly Samudra, created a major problem for Buddhism. Full stop. Next, Adi Shankaracharya challenged and defeated the Buddhist and the Jain scholars. He proved that Buddhism and Jainism were nothing but branches of Brahmanism. Next paragraph. Islam posed a major challenge. Islam, POSCD, posed a major challenge for the survival of Buddhism. In 1197, Bakhtiyar Khilji, 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 destroyed Nalanda University. Bakhtiyar Khilji destroyed Nalanda University and burnt the library Ratnagarbha. He burnt the library Ratnagarbha. Full stop. Due to lack of protection, Buddhism ran away to Nepal. Buddhism ran away to Nepal. Clear? Full stop. Now, put a full stop there. Listen. Close all that. Listen. Now you are entering into the last part of Buddhism. Cultural contribution of Buddhism. Great contribution made by Buddhism. Where do you see this great contribution? Very, very important part. If you remember in the very first class I told you, cultural contribution of Buddhism, very important from examination point of view. You are getting questions on this particular part more. Buddhist art, architecture and literature. There are other areas. I told you already, university education, understand. Buddhism gave us great philosophies, right? Mahayana, Hinayana and Buddhist philosophies and all that. When it comes to Buddhist art, architecture and literature, Buddhists were the first to develop a systematic understanding about the subject architecture. What do you mean by systematic? You mean before that there is no system? Yes. In Indus Valley times you had architecture. But you don't have clear idea about the principles of architecture. They constructed. We have no evidence, a textual or archaeological on the principles what that they followed. That's what I meant by system. You must have a textbook as the basis. See, these are the principles for construction. If it is stupa, these are the principles. Chaitya, vihar, these are the principles. This is the way you have to construct. For every religion there is text. In your Hindu architecture, you construct temples on basis of Agama Shastra. It's not that you have money, you can go on constructing temple as you feel like. Nahi. What is the distance between sanctum, sanctorum, garbhagriha and dvajastamba? There is rule there. Principles are there. That way Buddhists were the first to develop. Not Hindu. Buddhists were the first to develop. Architecture as a subject. They have a standard text. What is that standard text? Chulla Vagga. These are Pali terms. Chullavagga is the basis for Buddhist architecture. Then what are the architectural forms? Architectural forms of Buddhism: stupa, chaitya and vihar. What is stupa? First try to understand. It's a Pali word. I told you language of the Buddhists. Up to 1st century it's Pali. With Mahayanism, Sanskrit. The word stupa in Pali language literally means gathering. Gathering the ashes or the relics of the person dead. When we burn the dead body, you have relics or ashes. We gather them, we preserve them, right? That is stupa. Stup means gathering the ashes or relics. When Buddha died, his body was consigned to flames. Ashes gathered, preserved. Samrat Ashok ordered for distribution of these ashes among different sanghas and asked them to construct structures. Are you understanding? Build a structure on ashes. That way, that structure stands sacred for you, because you built structure on Buddha's ashes. You mean all the stupas have Buddha's ashes? No. There are 3 types of stupas. Dhatu Garbita, Dhatu Garba, Dhatu Garbita, I will explain later. Just listen. I'll give you a graphic picture later. Just listen. Dhatu Garbita means the stupas with actual relics of the Buddha inside the stupa. Garba means womb. Inside the stupa. They are number 1, first type. Most sacred. Because they have Buddha's relics. Second type of stupa, Paribhojaka, Parivrajaka or Paribhojaka, means great monk. You mean stupas are also built on the relics of monks? Yes. Just as Buddha great, monks are equally great. Some of the monks who excelled, highly respected monk, when he died, we construct a stupa, right, with his relics there. All the articles he used, all the objects he used, on that we construct the stupa. That stupa is called Parivrajaka or Paribhojaka. You got a question on this. Parivrajaka in civil prelims. Great saints. Third type of stupa is Uddeshika stupa. Uddeshya means purpose. You are preparing for civils. Every day before you go to bed, you offer prayers to Buddha. Let's say that. You, Buddha Bhagavan, shower your affection, love upon me. Bless me. I must get into IAS. Right? Finally, you got into IAS. So, as a token of your great love and respect for the Buddha, you construct one stupa. That stupa is called Uddeshya, purpose. Uddeshika stupa. Are you clear? These Uddeshika stupas, size-wise, very small. Just token of your gratitude. Size-wise, Uddeshika stupas, very small. Questions in UPSC. How stupa chaitya vihars, chaityas, prayer halls, vihars, the place where the monks stay. How they reflect to Buddhist philosophy, that is the question. Mind-blowing questions. Okay. You don't find answers for these questions in any study materials. Okay. I don't want to name. Okay. Did they discuss? UPSC has a different way of asking questions. Got the point? How Buddhist art architecture reflects the Buddhist philosophy? That is the question. The purpose of constructing a monument, stupas are the earliest monuments, constructions. The purpose of construction is to convey message, particularly religious construction. When you look at religious construction, it must tell you the essence of its religion, idea of its religion. Okay. Then how does Buddhist architecture reveal that? A stupa is a semicircle, looking like bubble. This is how stupa looks like, bubble. Bubble is communicating a message, the main theme of Buddhism. What is the main theme of Buddhism? Life is like a bubble. Your life is like, my life is also, not your means you. Everyone's life. Everyone's life is like bubble. We don't know when we will die. Whoever that understands this, that life is impermanent, he has nothing to learn anything about in this life. So, what is ultimate reality? Life is impermanent. Are you understanding? Buddha never used to take classes for his students in the AC classrooms and all that, right? Buddha would take classes for his students in the graveyards, showing them, see the dead bodies, how they are burning. That's the dead body of a Pahilwan. The bugger used to hit everyone. Now where is he? He is reduced to ashes. This is the reality. Anand, my dear Anand, realize this is the reality. Are you understanding? Stupa's underlying message is life is impermanent. Okay. Inside the stupa, you have Vedika. Vedika means platform. In this platform, inside the Vedika platform, you have bowls. Bowls kept with Buddha's ashes. In all these bowls you have Buddha's ashes. Ashes with golden and silver flowers. Okay. So, where do you have Buddha's ashes kept now, my dear? Garbha, womb of the stupa, inside the stupa. Got the point? Okay. It is that you have ashes inside, they are holy. Okay. They have power, divine power. They charge the entire structure. This entire structure is charged by them. That's why this structure is called Anda. Means it has life. Are you understanding? You also call it Pinda. Whether it is Anda or Pinda, meaning is it has life. It is divine. It has life, fully charged. Because here you have Buddha's ashes. On the top portion of this stupa, you have a square platform. This square platform is what is called Harmika. Harmika means what? This, according to Buddhists, this is the place where the gods stay. Gods stay. Okay. This stupa is guarded by Harmika. Gods stay there, they guard. They protect the Buddha's ashes. Are you understanding? At the center of Harmika, you have ST. Y-E-S-T-I. ST is, it's like a pillar. Pillar with 3 ribs. These three ribs symbolically stand for, you remember, Buddham, Dharmam and Sangam, essence of Buddhism. These three also symbolically represent the three chakras. You remember? Dharma, Dhanya and Kala. Three chakras start by the Buddha. See how you have to apply Buddha's philosophy to the structure. Are you understanding what I am explaining? Right. Then you have this entire structure built on a circular platform. This circular platform, you call it as Medhi. Vedika. Okay. This is Vedika, I'm sorry. Platform is called Vedika. There are two Vedikas, outer and inner. This is outer Vedika. This is inner Vedika. Around this, outer Vedika, you have a path meant for circumambulation. This is the path meant for circumambulation, pradakshina. You call it as parikrama. Parikrama. You have how many entrances now? 4 entrances. These entrances are called toranas. Entry point, torana. Toranas. Right. At every entrance, on both sides, you have 2 sides, right side, left side of the entrance. At every entrance, you will have on your right side, left side, 5 pillars. My dear, these 5 pillars in all the 4 directions you will have. They are called Ayuka Stambhas. Okay. Stamba. Okay. Ayuka Stambhas. Stamba means what? Pillars. Right? Ayuka Stambhas. 5 pillars on each side. Why you have only 5? What is the importance of these pillars? In Buddha's life, there are 5 major events. These 5 major events, you call them Pancha Kalyanas. Shubhaprada, Sanghatan, events. What are these 5 major events? His birth, right? His Mahabhinishkramana, great departure, right? His enlightenment, his first lecture, then his death. Sir, you call death Kalyana? Yes, death is Kalyan for Buddha. Okay. Welcome death, because death is taking you to the other plane. Nothing to worry about death. That's what he says. So 5 major events, symbolically represented by 5 Ayuka Stambhas. When you are entering into the stupa, crossing this torana means you are going to experience the 5. That is the idea. Are you understanding? Okay. This is the description of stupa. Clear? Fine. Then, where do you see these stupas being built? Okay. Stupas being built. Okay. First in Piprivaha. Piprivaha stupa, India's oldest stupa, Nepal. Piprivaha stupa. Samrat Ashok ordered for construction of stupas. Buddhist tradition says 84,000 stupas. Nonsense. Understand? Sheer exaggeration. 84,000 stupas, how will you construct? Problem with Indian history, highly exaggerated accounts. Okay. Evidence should also go with that, That's the problem. But definitely Samrat Ashok ordered for construction of Sanchi, Sarnath, Soneri and Sasram Buddhist stupas. Sanchi, class apart, undoubtedly. Very beautiful stupa. Okay, on a highly, elevated mountain, you have this stupa built. Okay, on an elevated platform above on that. When you pass through the station, instead Bhopal to Delhi, when you come on your way, you can see Sanchi stupa. Okay, sitting in the train itself, you can see Sanchi stupa. It passes through that way. Okay. These are Dhatu Garbitas, actual stupas with Buddha's relics. Then you have Shunga dynasty. After Mauryas, Shungas came to power. Shungas were Brahmins, but they also patronized Buddhism. Shungas built Barhat Stupa, Madhya Pradesh. Barhat Stupa. Then Shatavahanas, who ruled Andhra Pradesh for more than 400 years, they ruled. 33 Shatavahanas. Very great dynasty. Unfortunately, no questions on them. Okay. This is what I definitely say north-south bias these days. Okay. Are dynasties that ruled for 400 years. Great contribution they had made. Okay. No dynasty in ancient times made that great contribution. It's not that I come from that area, I am feeling terribly upset, not able to blow my trumpet and all that. Okay. Not a single question. Sharkis of Janpur. First of all, I doubt whether they realize, whether they are aware that they existed first. Understand? Discuss Sharkis of Janpur. Optional students, 60 marks. They could not rule even 60 years. Huh? Shatavahanas, very bad, you understand? Okay. Even today also you see, question papers, Chola, Vijayanagar, Chola, Vijayanagar, Chola, Vijayanagar, bas. South India means only Chola, Vijayanagar. Only two. They are expressing their ignorance, thereby they are simplifying our task. That's a different issue. Right. But great injustice. Right. How can I be an Indian? Please tell me. When I don't know the history of northeastern states, when I don't know the history of North, when I don't appreciate the beauty of Kashmir's history, how can I be an Indian? Same is the case. You people are blissfully ignorant. Okay, about South. What's the culture glory of South? And you people are saying, Sare jahan se acha. कैसा होता है अच्छा भाई बोलो कुछ तो पढ़ते नहीं है चौड़ा विजयनगर ये क्या this is very bad. They constituted a team of experts to write history. No place there for South Indians. I am not a chauvinist, but I am raising questions. Please answer my questions. कुछ नहीं है पढ़ाते नहीं है पहले so here Shatavahanas they built first actually there's a stupa Amaravati stupa built by King Naga Ashok. I told you 3 Ashoks. Naga Ashok. That Amaravati stupa was expanded by Shatavahana kings. Why I am specifically talking about Amaravati stupa, that was the biggest stupa in ancient times. Amaravati stupa. Okay. Unfortunately, our people who had no sense, history sense, they destroyed the stupa. Understand? They shifted the white limestone slabs of the stupa for their house constructions. Salimon, the district collector, he felt terribly upset. Understand? The British administration, don't blame them. Okay. They showed good concern for our history. They shifted them, the sand, limestone slabs of Amravati Stupa to London Museum. That's why they are at least preserved there. Understand? Amravati Stupa, most beautiful. Okay. India's, not India's, in ancient times it's the biggest stupa. As of today, in the present world, Borobudur Stupa, Borobudur, Java, that's the world's biggest stupa, built by King Purnavarma of the Shailendra dynasty. Clear? This is about stupas, sacred structures. Then I told you Vihar, stupas, chaityas and Vihar. Chaitya is just like this hall. Okay. Kindly give me 5 more minutes. You are becoming impatient, please. Okay. Chaitya is a rectangular hall. Rectangular hall. Right. In a chaitya, at the center of the hall, you have a cubicle. It is called Sanctum Sanctorum, Garbhagriha. Inside the cubicle, you will have one elevated platform. You call it Vedika. Vedika means platform. On that, you install the idol of the Buddha. Okay. On your right side and left side, you will have row of rooms, small rooms. These rooms are meant for monks to sit and meditate. Okay. Time permits, you see Karle. Fantastic. Last before month I had been to Karle. Okay. Difficult to climb. Okay. Very huge mountain, size-wise very big mountain. Okay. Narrow, that too, like this. You have to climb there. There they built a Karle, Chaitya. Either you see Buddha's statue or stupa itself in the heart of the Chaitya. Okay. This is meant for worship. You meditate, sit and meditate. Stupa Chaityas, we call them as. Karle, Kaniheri, Nasik, and Guntupalli Chaityas in Andhra Pradesh. They are all popular, quite popular Chaityas. It is that you have Chaitya there, the word Chaitanya, from there the word Chaitya is derived. You are all meditating, means the positive energy is concentrated there. That's why it's called Chaitya. Chaitya, prayer hall. Then you have Vihar. What is Vihar? Vihar is the place where the monks stay. Okay. This is how you see Chaitya looks. Clear, my dear? This is Vedika. And that you install Buddha's idol. This is just like a hall, prayer hall, Chaitya. A Vihar constructed in circular shape. Okay. This is meant for the monks to stay. These are all rooms meant for monks to stay. It looks like, a lotus, Padma lotus. Clear? Okay. You have the magnificent, the most beautiful, I should say, okay, Buddhist vihars at Nagarjun Konda, Nagarjun Sagar, okay, built by Shantisri. Shantisri, sister of King Shantamula, king's sister. She followed Buddhism. I told you Nagarjuna Sagar, the place where Acharya Nagarjuna comes from. That's where you have the biggest and most impressive okay, vihar, the place where the monks stay, okay, they were built. So stupa chaitya vihars. This is the essence of Buddhist architecture. Clear? When I explain tomorrow Buddhist art forms, then you know how they influence Hindu art and architecture. Right? I will post the synopsis for Buddhist architecture, up to architecture. Clear? Clear, boys? Yes.